All right. Hello, young scholars. This is Mr. Martirone. The next flip classrooms you're going to watch are on various art movements from Europe. All right. You all should have this chart entitled The Historical Art Movements. If you didn't get one in class, you can certainly download one from Edmodo. The two art movements that we've covered so far in class were medieval art and Renaissance art. We did this as a warm-up in class, or we will do it as a warm-up in class. We're going to focus now on three other art movements. We're going to focus on Baroque art, Neoclassicism, and an art movement called Romanticism. So what you're going to do is on these flip videos, you're going to give me a description of the artwork in the center column, and in the right-hand column, just give me the title of the works of art and possibly some qualities that you associate with it. Nothing too in-depth or a lot of detail. We're going to go over this in class, and we'll spend a little bit more time in March going over these different art movements. All right. The first art movement in this video is called Mannerism. And Mannerism is not on the chart, but it's important nevertheless. So if you want to kind of put it somewhere in your notes, that would be pretty important, or that'd be good of you. So we're talking about the art of the Revolution time period, and Mannerism was the dominant theme in art in the 16th century, so that's the 1500s to the 1600s. It's known for its clashing of colors and bizarre religious objects. And the real neat thing that you're going to notice with Mannerism is that the anatomy and the balance of a lot of the paintings are so think back to when we saw all that symmetry and balance with the Renaissance. This is now kind of in response to Renaissance and Northern Renaissance paintings. All right. First painting we're going to take a look at is Madonna with the long neck. All right. Very interesting. All right. So we know that Mannerism was the name of the European art style in the mid-16th century, and the name reflects the ideas of the artists that they adopted the different techniques during this time period. And the techniques vary differently from the Renaissance, and in particular, the Madonna with the long neck. It is traditionally, it's a religious theme. Madonna and child, they're surrounded by angels, and there are several pictorial elements that typify the taste this time. However, if you notice, the Madonna has a small oval head with a long neck and elongated body, and her feet are also elongated. Her facial expression and her pose, fingered in the right hand, and the expressions of the angels on the right. If you notice, too, the balance of this painting is off, okay? Take a look at Jesus in the center. Baby Jesus is also elongated, very long limbs, big head. On the left side of the canvas, it's very crowded with people, while there's nothing on the right. You also have this small angel down here announcing the birth of Jesus. Again, small, not proportioned, and then you have a kind of a random column in the background. So again, think back to when we saw Renaissance art where it was very balanced, very proportioned. This is very disproportionate in this regard. All right, here is a close-up of Madonna and child. Next painting is by Peter Paul Rubens. This is called Descent from the Cross. Again, religious in theme. Jesus is the central focus, and this is Christ being carried just below the left center, and Mary stands at the right center of the painting. Again, this departs from the theme of the Renaissance. There's really not a central focal point in this painting, and if you look very carefully at the limbs of Jesus, again, a little bit elongated, as are the limbs of the other members of this painting. So this is the Descent from the Cross. Again, this is Peter Paul Rubens. So between this and Madonna with child, it gives you a nice sense of the Mannerism time period, the art of that time period. Right. Again, you can just put, these are the pretty classic examples. You can put them in your notes before we move on to the Baroque time period, which is in your graphic organizer.